Hey, this is Michael with Digital T-Shirt Shop. I'm going to see if I can make this work. So, one of the questions I've always had, because so when I print with uh, colored DTG ink on a white shirt, it's almost as though that ink stains the shirt. It doesn't ever come off. I mean, never ever comes off. We've washed those shirts hundreds, literally hundreds of times over years, and the images are still on the shirts. Now, they fade over time. Um, they do start to look old, um, but that image doesn't ever come off the shirt. Um, I guess one little problem with it is uh, the textile ink that you print is so thin that you don't have that raised plasticky uh, finally type feel that the ink leaves when you do silk screening. It's so thin that you also are not getting quite as vibrant of a color, especially after you've washed it a number of times. Um, because of that, I'm sure if the shirts were pre-treated, it would probably act a little bit different, which brings me to what I wanted to talk about. So I've been more and more printing more and more colored shirts with my DTG printer. Excuse me. Whew. More and more on colored shirts with the white ink. Now, the white ink doesn't sit on the shirt unless the shirt's pre-treated, okay? So you put the pre-treatment coat on this. So you have your shirt, you put on the pre-treatment coat, and then you put on the ink. Stacked. Naturally to me, that tells me that the ink is not saturating the shirt. Your graphic is actually sitting on top of the shirt. The pre-treatment is acting as a bonding agent to bond the ink to the fabric. Now my wife comes to me the other day because somebody wanted to buy some shirts. How long will the ink stay on the shirt? Is it going to peel and crack? She's going, well, it should never come off because of her experience with printing on the white shirts. And when she tells me that, I was kind of like, well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure that just absolutely never comes off. So I've been printing some shirts, and I'll print them and wear them so that I know kind of how well it works and how well it's, what people can expect from it, because I wear them myself. Um, and so I've only been doing the white ink since January, and it's taken some time to get regular sales coming in. Um, and I have not taken a lot of time to print and wear my own things with it. I've been filling some orders with it. I've been doing occasional prints with it as it comes in. They look great. They, from all appearances, appear to be high quality and everything. But just to illustrate my point with that it's different. So I have a shirt I'm wearing right now. The shirt right here that I printed, that's a work logo. And this morning when I put the shirt on, it's been washed a couple of times, but when I put the shirt on, I noticed there was a little kind of a flaky spot that had pulled up right there. And so I figured, I'm going to just tug on this a little bit and kind of see what it does. And so if I take the shirt and I just really kind of stretch it, you see right there, you can see your gaps open up in your image right there, which means that your shirt spread, your image is splitting a little bit there. Now, granted, when I just kind of let it go back, you can't see it all that much, but if I spread it, I mean, you obviously can. So the image is sticking to the shirt, but you are getting, a little bit of separation from the ink there. And this, with this color, and I don't know why it is, it's got to be what the white ink is made out of, but it really does come out with more of that traditional screen printing feel. It's raised just a little bit, has more kind of that plasticky ink feel to it. But I don't know, I probably need to wash it a lot more. Maybe I need to take a few of them and just kind of really handle them and rub them and scrape them and just kind of see how well the images stick. I've also heard, and from the things that I've read and studied on it, that different amounts of pre-treating solution on the shirts, why it will either help it bond better or worse. Better or worse. But again, I've not personally, I mean, I've done a bunch. I printed a bunch. I test washed a bunch, at different pre-treating settings. And I guess I'm kind of trying to find the sweet spot between having the right amount on that it bonds correctly, and the right amount on that when the person gets the shirt, it's not so heavily saturated with pre-treatment solution that you've got all that staining going on. Well, it's not really staining, but all the visible spotting going on where the pre-treatment solution is on the shirt, and the person feels like they can't wear it until after they've washed it. But that's kind of trying to find that balance, so they get a shirt when they buy it, they get it, it shows up, it looks like something they could just put on and wear. So, but I thought I would just show that to you. I was actually, it's kind of what it is. I guess, yeah, you deal with that with anything that you do, but so far, I mean, the image is still holding up except for that one little flake that came off right there. And then since I've been really yanking on the image, you got a little bit more spreading on that ink there where it's cracking a little bit. So we'll maybe look at it down the road, see how well it continues to hold up. So